Hi everyone, thanks again for joining me. It's Gary Cassidy from Sportskeeda Wrestling. I feel like I've had so many great guests recently, and that is not stopping anytime soon. As you might be able to see, the person, I don't know if they're to my left or my right, but they're next to me somewhere anyway. She's wrestled in Evolve, she's wrestled in Impact Wrestling, she's most recently wrestled in WWE on the NXT brand. Trained by Johnny Rodz, I believe. It's the marvellous, and I want to say a whole lot of women, MJ Jenkins. How's it going, MJ? How are you today?
It's going really good. I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad at all. Obviously, we're both indoors. As long as we're all in the same boat and have to stay indoors, then we can't complain too much, I guess. So it's not too bad. But yeah, the one thing we need to, it always seems like I like to start off on I don't want to say a low point, but we need to say, things that have happened recently, and then we'll get into the fun stuff anyway. Of course, recently you were released by WWE. You'd had quite a lengthy little spell in NXT. You'd had, a lot of fun stuff happening. Was it expected? Was it something that you knew was coming, or did it come straight out of the blue?
Regarding my release, I definitely wasn't expecting it, mainly because like where I stood with the company, we've come so far in developing, everything that a whole lot of women is, ring work, promo work, creative work, like digging deep into it. And so when I got released, it was very confusing for me, especially because like the last conversations that I've had with them was, hey, we're not going to put you out there just to put you out there. When we put you out there, we want it to be about you. And right now it's just not the time for you. So, when they told me that, it was just right now there were other people that was in line for it, and and it was like keep doing what you're doing great, you're doing fine, just now is not the time. So I took that as, okay, my time will come, and until then I'm going to keep on doing what I have to do, and everything will fall into place. So when I got released, it was just like, I was like, well, why? And then on top of that, it was just like a hard blow, mainly because of like everything that I was dealing with, personally too. So yeah, definitely wasn't expecting it.
Which that's something we'll get into in a little bit. But firstly, I want to look back at your WWE run a little bit, because you did a lot. You were
Yeah.
in the Mae Young Classic for a start, and the thing that I found was really kind of not unusual, but a rare thing that doesn't happen much in WWE, is you were in a mixed tag team match with this is where I get the pronunciation wholly wrong of Denzel Dejournay. You tagged with him. Dejournay.
Oh, yes,
terrible at pronouncing his name.
Denzel
But you were up against Kona Reeves. How was that? How do you look back on the run? Do you think it was a success, or what do you think was your favourite point of working in WWE?
What was my favorite point at working with them? Or you?
Yeah. What's your highlight, and how do you look back overall?
Man, there's so many, because I can say the Mae Young Classic was definitely like the beginning. That was like the kickoff, because I like the year before that, I wasn't able to compete in it because I was already, signed to a different company, and that was with I was with Impact at the time. And so this year around, it was just like, yes, like so it was just that was like the kickoff, because that was one of my main goals. I was like, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna kill it. And everything just felt so raw and authentic with all the fans, and it was just like this huge rush of like adrenaline like pumped over me, like when I had my interest, even when we were rehearsing things, like like when they did the whole thing of all the girls who were standing on the ramp, just everything was a plush. Definitely working with Denzel Dejournay, me and him, we came in at the same class, and he just, Denzel is such a ball of energy. And I, as a whole lot of woman, am also a ball of energy. You know, I'm sassy, all that, and fierce. And it wasn't even supposed to happen, that tag match that we had. It just happened that, the card got switched around. It was like, who can we put with Denzel? Who we have to match? And it's like, hello, you know? Yeah, so that was fun too. I can say one of my other highlights was we had the WrestleMania 36 pre-party.
Yeah.
And I got to work with Raquel Gonzalez, and oh my gosh, like that was just like another it was just another great moment for me because it's something, like they only put people out there who they really who can really go and who can really get the crowd going and who really is like all that in a bag of chips. And honey, MJ Jenkins, all that in a bag of chips and all, you know what I'm saying? So like that was a lot of fun. Even like the small, not, I can't say small because it is a big deal. Like now that I look back at it, I've had a lot of time to reflect on everything that I've done. And now that I look back at it, even when it was me, Kaden Carter, and Mia Yim, and one girl who just had her debut match, Jessie Kamea, I believe. Yeah. She, it was all of us and we were in the locker room, and then, in comes barging the rest of the 4 horsewomen from MMA, Shayna Baszler, Marina Shafir, and Jessica Duke. And this is just like all hell breaks loose. And I was just like, you get out of my face. And it was just like, even that spilled over into NXT. And then we wound up like coming out and trying to fight them. Like that was so, like, looking back at it now, I'm just like, whoa, that was insane. And it was fun. And it was just like, it was just everything, that I hope for, Yeah.
But that's the one thing, is it's great at least being able to look back with fondness and realizing how many highlights you had.
Absolutely. Even like when we've come through, we've had corporate sponsors come through, Fox, we had ESPN come by, and the person they put there was, guess who? Yours truly, a whole lot of woman, MJ Jenkins, because nobody, honey, rips that mic like me, So, all of a sudden I'm getting my family like, oh my God, we just saw you on ESPN. People's calling my family, oh my God, MJ Jenkins, isn't that your aunt? Isn't that your sister? I'm just like, yes.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, without lowering the tone too much and without going, too sad, because I don't want to bring the conversation right down, but there's a few things I think we should address in a realistic manner. And that, last week, of course, you were released from WWE, but that wasn't the only heartbreak that you suffered. I believe you lost your brother-in-law to COVID-19. Yeah. So without delving too deeply into it, the two things I would like to ask is, one, you are a ball of energy. You've expressed that very clearly. You're a very positive person. How do you stay positive when you get these knockbacks?
The truth is, you have to be realistic with yourself, and you have to accept what is going on, and you have to like allow yourself to feel. Because if you block it out and you don't deal with those emotions and you don't embrace those emotions, that's what makes everything 10 times worse. So I've it was easy for people to say, just keep your head up, things will get better. And it's just like, it's not even about my career. It's about someone I've lost. As I said online, I grew up in foster care. I was in different homes, and this was someone who treated me like his daughter. He was really, good to me. So I had to just allow myself to cry. I had to allow myself to have those sorrow moments or those pity moments. Like, I'm just like everyone else in a sense, because other people has lost their jobs and their career paths, and you just have to deal with it, accept it, embrace it, and then somehow find a way to have this inner strength, because we all have an inner strength. You have to find it, and you have to grab it, and you have to say, okay, this has happened, but this is also going to be my driving force, to to keep going. And the most important thing is have those strong people in your corner too, because a lot of times we can't do it on our own, especially when we're vulnerable and we're weak. So you can stay positive, you can accept and embrace the feeling, but also have that supportive team, because that's what actually gets you going through. Even from there, they've encouraged me, keep a schedule, keep yourself busy. So, so that everything just doesn't weigh too heavy on you. That's the best advice I can give anybody that's going through what I'm going through right now.
I don't think many people will be going through exactly what you're going through, but that's incredible advice for everyone to take on board, I think you've said there. If you could give one message to people out there right now and in these times, what would you say to them?
I would say, if you have anything that's left unsaid to someone that you love, take that time, check on them, care for them, call them. They really stay safe. And that means not only being clean with your hands, flush out your body too, because then that helps your mind. And just know that no matter what happens, we are going to be all right. We're all going to be all right. That's at the end of the day, just know that it's the mind, it all starts here. If you have that here, then everything else will take care of itself.
Excellent. I absolutely love that message as well. And I think a lot of others will take, I can't help but smiling when I'm talking to you because it just seems like you've got such positivity. It's brilliant. But yeah, of course, we're going to kind of put that to the side. Important messages, really important messages. But what I've found amazing in this time is entertainment being a form of escapism and, larger than life characters and stuff like that. Yeah. Which you undoubtedly are, and I need to ask about your character because I don't feel like it is a character. That's the best part. But that's the new motto of being a whole lot of women. Where did that come from? Did that come from you? Did someone else kind of suggest it, or is it just who you are anyway?
So a whole lot of woman comes from all the influences around me, right? So music. I am an avid fan of Beyonce, even from Destiny's Child era. And I always follow her career, her movies, and not for nothing, I love to sing as well. So it's just been developing as I've developed as a woman, as I've developed as a performer and a professional, even on the independent scene, I've done AIW, with Girls Night Out, and I've done, Super Kicked, and then I've done shows just everywhere. I would literally hey, I want to sing my own entrance. That was a part of it, Then I added dance moves to it, and then the whole aura of her, she's just confident, she's sassy, she's full of herself, but in a good feeling way. And what was interesting is what tied it all together was when I first got signed, they said, remember they sent out these little highlight videos of everyone who got signed. I was like, just say something. What's your message to the world? And I said, well, my name is MJ Jenkins, and I'm a whole lot of woman. And I was like, oh, and that was literally Beyonce, Goldmember, Foxy Cleopatra, So it was just taking things that I loved, music, I love movies, and then morphing it around me, So a whole lot of woman is really just an extension of who I am, the true person. And that's why it's so easy to play her, because in an instance, it actually is me, And being there with WWE, we've had I've had a lot of creative direction, and then they gave me a lot of leeway to do what I want. And we've had showcases where I've pitched them me singing my entrance, and they were like, whoa. The whole entrance, I had the whole red carpet, I had the lights flashing, the music background of trance of dancing, moving behind me. It was just that. And then, it really is basically an extension of me and my influences. Yeah.
You can tell that just from how you talk about it. It's it's so natural that it's just
it makes me glow.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I know that you're going to be a star no matter where you go, but what people will want to know is when will that be? Is your non-compete a 30-day clause like the other NXT talents?
Yes.
Yeah. So obviously, hopefully we'll see you somewhere in the space of the next 30 days just after that. But while you're having to stay at home and stuff, I know you said you love singing. What are you doing to pass the time? What are you doing to keep yourself busy?
So, if you want to know, I have a sewing machine. And I was like, okay, I've kept, mind you, I've never opened it.
Yeah.
But now that I have so much time on my hands, I'm like, okay, let me try to sew. So this is what I've been doing. I've been making face masks.
Oh, man.
So I've made like several face masks, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I have like a doggy print one. That was the pineapple. I have like the cheetah print one. So I've just been like really keeping myself busy with like doing different things. And then I'm going to bedazzle them and put like sparkles on for people who want sparkles. I've been doing that. I've been opening my YouTube channel, Marvelous MJ Jenkins, and I ask the fans, different content. So I'm going to be doing that. Oh yeah, and my website, I was working on a whole lot of women.com because of so much like support that I've been getting from the fans. I wanted to give them something back. So I was like, I need to, why wouldn't I have a website? Hello, like let's give them merch. Let's do all these things ideas that I've had in my mind, but I haven't done it yet, So yeah, I've been doing that and preparing for the future. Yeah.
Giving the people what they want. Definitely giving the people what they want.
A whole lot of women.com. Make sure
Definitely. And we'll have the links for that as well in the actual article so people can click them. I've got one last question. I can't believe it's flown by this much. I felt like I had a load to ask and everything's just been answered. So I need to ask you one last question. We mentioned it earlier. You've wrestled everywhere. You've wrestled in WWE. You've wrestled in Impact. You've wrestled in Evolve. All across the United States. You've wrestled everywhere. Right now, obviously, you're sewing, you're singing, you're putting out stuff on your website. When you do get back to wrestling, where do you see yourself? Where would you like to go in an ideal world?
Oh, man. There's so much wrestling out there. And I can say, like, from what I've seen, my main place that I would love to go is AEW. I can't lie. To say that I haven't been watching would be a complete lie. I think what they're doing is amazing, and all the talent that they have there. Sonny Kiss has been one of my friends for the longest. Like, I met him so long ago in New Jersey when I was wrestling, and he was wrestling at a smaller indie company. Britt Baker is there, and me and Britt, me and Britt actually had our first ever tryout match in front of the whole WWE locker room at SmackDown. And me and her killed it. And we were just like, ooh, we did this little handshake, like giving each other this, like, so, you just have so much great performance there, Ariel Monroe, there's Big Swole, that's what she goes by now, so that's one place I would love to go because I believe in what they're doing, and I believe in their women's division, and also, even like, Ring of Honor. I've always admired Ring of Honor as well too. And I could tell you a little scoop of something. Like there was a time where I may have had an opportunity to wrestle for them, but I had signed with another company.
Oh, it's always the way.
So I was like backstage with my gear and everything, and I was like, no. So it's just, that's why I'm so, even though like this has happened to me, it's almost like a blessing in disguise, because now there is still other opportunity, and now I'm even 10 times better than I was a year ago, 3 years ago, or when I did have those opportunities with that company, with those companies. So definitely AEW, definitely Ring of Honor. I would love to work with excuse me, Maria Manic, she's just incredible, and her transformation. Woo, Lord, I know we we will be something interesting. Even the lore. It's just so much talent there, and I'm just looking forward to get out there and even revisiting Impact Wrestling. That was the company that gave me my first break, and I'll never forget it. I'll never forget, Gail Kim calling me, and she's like, "Well, if you want, you can come here." I was like, she's like, "I hope I'm not bothering you." I'm like, "Gail, honey, do you know who you are? You are Gail Kim. You are not bothering me. Call me anytime you want." So I'm ready to like get back out there and take it all. And one main goal, I would love to go to Japan also, in Mexico for sure. Like I want it all now. I'm just for everything.
Spread those wings. The one thing that I think everyone will agree on is no matter where you go, there will be no one else there that is anything like MJ Jenkins. You'll definitely be unique. Thank you so much for chatting with me. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I can't wait to see what you do in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you for your support, and thank you for like reaching out to me. Thank all the fans. Follow me, Real MJ Jenkins _ on Twitter, Real MJ Jenkins on Instagram. Follow Marvelous MJ Jenkins on YouTube, and let's keep this up. I hope to talk to you guys again.
Definitely, and I'll make sure all those links are there so everyone can get clicking on them. No one has any excuse not to follow what MJ Jenkins is doing. Thanks again.
All right, thank you.